StoryTube. Joshua Gen 2005. Deer Hunter. From inheritance I got 400 acres of fertile land separated the thick forest by a 10 feet wide water stream. My father used the land for growing big trees like mahogany, teak, and other trees which grew up to 2-3 meters in diameter and sold them by logging from time to time. It brought a lot of money as most of the furniture makers preferred getting the logs first-hand without any brokers. We always had enough trees to cut as 400 acres is huge. The other side of this land and beyond the water stream which separated my land found a lot of wild animals, and my father was a good hunter as he used to go on hunting every week with his old friends in his heyday. He used to bring home at least a wild rabbit every time he went on hunting. As there was a lot of wild boar in the forest, we were sure of getting a wild boar very often after a hunting spree by my father. Wild rabbits were plenty, while during the dry season hordes of deer used to visit the water stream for their water. After my father's retirement, after giving my 3 sisters in marriage and dividing the family wealth among us, I got the land, and as just like the father, I liked hunting. I managed to get a .50 air rifle which could wound and paralyze even a deer for 20 minutes until we complete the hunt with our killing deer by approaching the wounded animal. Also, it was fitted with a laser target finder and I never missed a shot with that. With one filling of air, it gave me 20 super shots at 1,400 feet per second. I have 4 friends who visited the land for a long weekend, and we camped near the water stream and went to the other side for hunting. We have camping equipment, barbecue gear, as well as a portable generator and a traveling fridge in our camping site with all the necessities to prepare a meal without running back to the bungalow. Also, we used to carry enough beer cans for the journey apart from 6 5-gallon water cans. Today when I look at the land, I see a lot of deer in my land as my way of life and hunting changed by an incident which took place 11 years ago. My 4 friends came to my place on a long weekend and we prepared ourselves for an escapade of hunting, and we set off early that day. We went to the campsite, which was a permanent structure, and set off all things in place before starting our journey for another day of hunting. We had 2 powerful air rifles as well as hunting knives and all gear that a hunter will need. It was the dry season and during midday, we experienced scorching heat which made us so uncomfortable. We have already had 2 beers each, which was in the cool box, and proceeded to the thicket with our backpacks and were very silent and listening to the sounds of animal moving around. By 14th hour we were exhausted and still couldn't find a kill. We sat down to have our lunch when we heard a little sound of a fawn. When we heard the sound, we knew that a set of deer should be around. After about 5 minutes a deer appeared and I knew it is time to strike. I took aim and shot the deer with my very powerful air gun on her upper back leg. I knew the deer won't be able to move for at least 10 minutes with that shot. The deer jumped in a twinkling of an eye and vanished. I was sure that our victim won't be too far. And we all started running towards the place where deer ran. The deer have leapt 25 yards and it was a she with the fawn. The next what we saw brought us to tears. The female deer was bleeding from her leg and still feeding the fawn. It broke my heart to see that. The female deer started weeping when she saw us coming towards her, as if pleading to save her life because of the fawn that was sucking the breast of the injured female deer. For a minute or so we were very silent and all felt the same way, as we have done a crime in shooting the female deer. Then I told them that we should not kill her but rescue her. All agreed, but it was a very hard struggle for us to get the 2 to a safe place. To do that we had to force her and bind her 4 legs, while the fawn was also had to be bound on all 4 before carrying them to our jeep. By the time we came back to the bungalow, it was around 9 in the evening. We had a barn house in the land, and for the moment we had to lock them up there with water and food. Next morning we got a veterinary surgeon, and after giving anesthesia he operated the mother deer and bandaged her wound while giving her a shot of saline. We had to get advice from the vet for their food and managed to find food for her while the fawn continued to suck on the mother. After about 4 days she managed to get up, and I saw that she is trying to get used to the new environment slowly. By being with them the whole day, I decided that I will never ever go hunting again. Just like us, they also have a right to their lives, and still, it haunts me when I remember the fawn drinking milk from the injured mother. After about a month she recovered fully and was very much domesticated with their lives. After inquiring from so many, I managed to find her a male partner too, which I paid a handsome amount of money as I wanted the male without any blemish. After 11 long years, today we have a herd of more than 25 deer. My children love them so much and we have become family. During the daytime they roam around the 200-acre land, and during the dry season they cross the water stream and go to the other side too, but in the evening they come home, as every morning they get a stomach full of food. Moral of the story: if you are a hunter, remember even animals have a right to live, and they could teach you the best lessons that you will never ever learn in a school. There again it depends how human you are. The deer is my deer is very dear, the saying goes.
The end.
Thank you for watching, reading and listening to our stories. Encourage us more to bring super stories. Subscribe to our channel and push the bell icon so you may know when we upload our next story instantly.